Good evening, everybody. I have a new thing that I'm going to try to do. We'll see if I can keep up with it and finish it. It's Monday, and I'm going to show you what I make for dinner each night of this week. You have to know that there's one thing about this family. We have no cook Thursdays. So that means that we will either eat leftovers, make ourselves a sandwich, go out to eat something, but I don't cook on Thursday nights. So this is what we're having. And I'm going to break it down prices and who we're serving and all of that. So I'll show you that in a minute. But first of all, what we're having is, this is a Hillshire Farm smoked beef sausage. And it is, does that say 10 or 12? Put your glasses down. It says 12 ounces. Okay. So I'm going to, cut this up. And then I'm going to fry it. And I'm going to get a little bit crispies on it, I'm going to throw in some onion. And get that nice and crispy, and that'll be that for that part. So that'll be that part. And then I'm doing 2 of these seasoned yellow rice. We all like this. And because it's April, our asparagus at our local stores are all very, very, they're fair in price. They're not cheap, but they're not crazy expensive like when they're off season. So I have 3 pounds of asparagus. And we will eat that. And if we don't eat it, we'll eat it the next day. Okay, I'll tell you the rest. Hold on. All right. I feed 5 adults dinner. So this will be for Monday, 4/7/25. It's a springtime dinner. I'm calling it that because it's got asparagus in it. So my Polska kielbasa, all beef, was $4.97 for 12 ounces. My asparagus was $5.91 for 3 pounds. I was looking at my receipt because I did a grocery pickup, and so I can tell you exactly what it was. Now I put here 2 yellow onions at $2.38, but I wasn't thinking that I don't need 2 of this size, but this is perfect. So it would have been it'll be a little less than $2.38. And then 2 yellow rice came to $1.96, which for dinner will equal $15.22. Beverage isn't included. We usually drink iced tea, water, juice, coffee. Everyone here is an adult, like I said. Sometimes they've got their own, like 20-ounce Coke or Pepsi or whatever it is they're drinking. Now, let's see what I got else I've got here. Okay, so my dinners are typically, a protein. So any kind of a protein could be meat, maybe not meat, a vegetable and a fruit, or 2 vegetables and 2 fruits, and a carb. Sometimes I'll do a carb and a bread, so I'll get a double hit on the carbs. Like, say, if I was going to make turkey and mashed potatoes, you got your mashed potato carbs. But then I would add rolls because turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy, and that calls for carbs. Okay. Sometimes we have a dessert or a sweet. Most of the time, they just scrounge around if they want something that's a desserty thing. But if it's like a collab I'm doing a dessert for, or a holiday, or I've made cookies in the week and it lasts a few days, or I made banana nut bread and it lasts a few days, We take any leftovers from dinner and we use them for work lunch the next day. The guys will take them. Or we'll eat it at home lunch. Or we'll have a repeat dinner if it's quite a bit. Like we've done a repeat dinner when we've had things like lasagna, pizza, spaghetti, things I tend to make in big, uncontrolled vats, which I'm trying not to do anymore because I'm trying to keep it on a budget. And I think for 5 adults, $15.22 isn't bad considering. So that's my deal, and I'll show you what I do with it as I go along. These are just going now, and so I'll get a char on those, and I've got my new knife, and I'm going to cut up that whole onion. All right, these are getting a char on them, so I'll go ahead and put the onions in with them now, and they'll use the oil. I put a tiny bit of olive oil in there to go with the kielbasa. Here's about how I cut up the onions, kind of a rough chop, not everything the same size or uniform at all. Does anyone else do this with their wooden spoon? my wooden spoons, a lot of them have burn marks on them from just laying them on the side, you know, and they've got a gas stove, propane actually, and so there's a flame, and it has burned so many of my spoons. See? I'm lucky I've never set anything on fire. So anyway, they're getting some love from the juices from the meat, and I'm just gonna, you know, keep them going while I go ahead and start the yellow rice. All right, so here are the asparagus, and I'm gonna, I break mine. I can't hold the camera and show you, but I hold it and I just bend it in half, and wherever it breaks, I throw away the stem at that point. I'm gonna break them, throw away the ones the pieces I don't use because I don't have chickens or anything, and I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna just use the tops. All right, so I have rinsed them really, really well, but now I'm gonna soak them a little bit. Dump the water, rinse them one more time, and then this has got that spinner on it. It's that OXO. Let me see what it's. This goes on here, and then you spin it around, and it spins off the anything that's left, you know. So now I have I cut it off. You can't see it. Mahatma yellow rice. I'm using 2 packets, and it's 1 2/3 cup water for each packet. So I did that twice, and I'm going to put it over here and bring it to a boil, and the rice goes in. All right, so now I dump the water out, and it's pretty heavy, that asparagus. Usually it's got like lettuce or something that's real light, and that just centrifuge spins off the liquid. And like I said, it's the, I think, OXO brand, and I have never been unhappy with one of the things that I brought from that company. They're great. You know, just kitchen stuff. Okay, see how much water I got out. I got a lot of water out, about a half a cup, so I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to roast the asparagus in the oven with olive oil and salt and pepper and onion powder, maybe a little garlic, very little. Yeah, it's still spinning a lot out, so this will be the last time I spin it out. Okay, and you take this off, you want it to stop, and it is done. There you go. Oops, let's make this a little smaller. I spread it out on some nonstick foil, and I'm going to put olive oil, salt, and pepper. I decided that was all. Now, the water is over there getting ready to boil, and it'll take about 20 minutes, I think, maybe 15. I can't remember for sure. I'll look at the package. But anyway, I'm going to do this now. It's just I just go like this, basically, and then I put salt and pepper on it. And I'm using a frosting cookie decorator bottle for my olive oil, so I don't have to get this out every time, but it was almost empty. Go figure. I had to fill it. All right, now it's oiled, salted, and peppered, and I'm just going to kind of wiggle it around so that it gets a little of the love on every piece, even the ones underneath. And then I'll put it in at 425 until it looks done. You know, I'm not trying to broil it. I'm not trying to slow bake it. I'd like it to be crispy some, but I like it not to get floppy. Alrighty, here we are with Tuesday night's dinner. So I have leftover rice from last night, a can of Bush's Taco Fiesta black bean sidekicks. It's got mild chipotle sauce in it, beans, corn, peppers, onions, and then I put 1.5 pounds of ground beef here. I'm going to stir all of this together, and I'm going to layer it with sour cream and cheese and whatnot. Oh, I also put onion powder, pepper, and salt. And I'm going to make kind of a Mexican casserole, just a quick casserole dinner. And so tonight's explanation is going to be a whole lot shorter. I spent way too much time telling you about last night's dinner. So it looks a little hamburger helper-ish, but maybe they won't notice. They'll eat hamburger helper. They don't care. Anyway, I took a taste with a spoon, and it seems to be a little... Well, you know, it's flavorful enough if you're feeding toddlers, but these guys like a little more spice to their meals at their age, adults. So I'm thinking I'm going to add some enchilada sauce or something. I'll go look in the pantry. Okay, I found an open where I just use a little bit of taco seasoning in my pantry, and so I'm going to go ahead and just add this whole thing. I don't know what I was doing with half a package of taco seasoning in the pantry. That was just really good luck. I must have used it to the first half maybe for nachos or something. I don't know. But I rinsed out the can with water to give it some juice, you know, and it already wasn't dry. So maybe this will be enough liquid. We'll see. I don't want it to be dry, but I don't want it to be soupy either. You know what I mean? All right, I think that's just the right consistency, but I'm going to keep an eye on it and see. All right, so I ended up using ground beef, rice, beans, spices, taco seasoning, onion powder, salt, pepper. I used Colby Jack cheese because I couldn't find any Fiesta blend, but I did find it when I got done, and it was in a different drawer than I thought it would be. So it's got Colby Jack on it. I also layered 4 soft taco shells, so there'll be that in there. So I don't know what you're going to call this, but I'm calling it a Mexican casserole. I'm going to cover it with some foil and stick it in the oven, just, you know, low, 300. And as they wander in from work, or whatever it is, they'll have it. And so that's my quick, budget-friendly, because I used leftover rice, we'll call it that. It was kind of budget-friendly and fast and easy. And I know that they'll eat it because when they put sour cream on this and hot sauce like they do, it'll be, you know, just fine for them. Thank you for watching. I'm not going to do another meeting. I thought I'd enjoy doing this. I'm not. It's slowing me down. I would like to be somebody that could do this every night. I just never know what I'm going to do each night now that I'm not keeping a menu like I used to for each day of the week. I don't know. I have a lot of little excuses. Okay, take care, everybody. If you've never thought to subscribe, I would love it if you did. Say hi, even if you don't subscribe, because I like to talk too. Yada, yada, yada. Bye.